what I call one of the workhorses in the kitchen. We have several different units that are workhorses. Workhorse means that you're going to use it almost every meal, either a large fry pan or a Dutch oven, your bigger pieces. You won't use lots of bigger pieces unless you're doing specialty dishes, but the key is you are going to need them occasionally, and in that process, you want to make sure that you have the right size cookware for the right size food. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut up a couple of different foods. This is the number 3 cone. It's called the French fry cut. You can make French fries, any larger cut you do. It also makes great cabbage for cutting up cabbage. So we're going to run the cabbage through there. Now, cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable, and when you cook it traditionally, it goes from an alkaline to an acid. You want to keep it alkaline. The reason cabbage gives you burpees is because of that transition in cooking. It all is dealing with heat. If you're not using the high heats, then we're going to keep our alkaline food alkaline, and that's a good thing. There are people out there that tell you you want to drink alkaline water, you want to eat alkaline food, because supposedly a body that's in an alkaline state fights cancer or prevents cancer. So my thing is why in the world would we want to change a food that's an alkaline to an acid? The other thing too is the stem. The stem has peptides in it that actually help you digest. You want to eat it. Most people cut it out. Don't do that. Cut it up, and you're never going to even know you got into the stem. So we're going to take and we're going to cut it up. And there is 3 speeds to the machine. There's slow, medium, and fast, depending on how you want to crank it. But the key is just pay attention to where you're going, and we're going to get it all the way in there. That was a pretty big piece of cabbage. And again, if you were cooking cabbage for a group of people, generally you'd cook 1 to 2 heads to feed 8 people. We can feed 8 people cabbage out of a quarter head of cabbage because you're not getting the food shrinkage. Again, anytime you lose something in food, you're losing either fat or you're losing nutritional value. And in the case of cabbage, you're losing the nutritional value, and you don't want to do that. Remember again, that Saladmaster machine is easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it's free. You can get one of these for referrals just by giving referrals for Saladmaster. Now keep in mind, to be able to give referrals, you have to see the full dinner in person. You can watch it on TV, you can watch it on YouTube, you can hear about it, but you can't taste the food from that venue. That's one of the disadvantages of YouTube, is you can see it and it looks really good, but nothing worse than seeing something that looks good and not getting a chance to taste it and truly experience the quality and the flavor of the food. Now we're going to take, and I'm going to just separate that up here for just a second, and we're going to cut up some carrots. One of my favorite things to show is this right here, because people, when they're going to a party, they will actually go and they'll buy a vegetable dipper. And you'll spend $30 for $2 worth of vegetables. But if you've got the right tools, you can make your own, and it's solid carrot, and it's good. Would you like to have a piece? So when you're talking about carrots too, you don't peel them, you scrub them. And the reason you don't want to peel them is because nutritionally speaking, that outside area is getting the nutrients from the ground. The stem is feeding the inside. So you want to eat the whole food, but definitely scrub, because when you scrub, you want to get the dirt off. But you don't want to take the skin off. So we're going to cut it up. Every time that goes around, we're getting 6 cuts. And we're making literally fancy cut carrots right there in front of your eyes. And there is our carrots. So normally when you're cooking multiple foods, you have to use multiple pans, and the reason is because, flavor transfer and all those kind of things. But the way we're cooking today, we're using a fry pan to cook vegetables. Now normally, we don't do this a lot at home because I'm not going to make 5 different vegetables in the same pan. I'm going to make 1 or 2 vegetables for a meal. But the thing is let's say you have a family that doesn't like carrots, somebody doesn't like cabbage, somebody doesn't like peas or something. You can make multiple things at the same time and you don't have flavor transfer. And I'm going to show you how that works here in just a minute. Now, a little more education. You can buy organic foods. I think there's probably some merit as to why people buy organic. But here's the problem. If you are buying organic foods and you are cooking organic foods the way most people do, you are pretty much wasting your money, because you don't want to get, because you're literally cooking the nutrition away. But frozen foods have got more nutrition than fresh, unless it's fresh out of your garden, because they're allowed to vine ripen. So we're going to take and we're going to drop the corn right there. Now these bags, they tell you can actually cook in them. But here's the problem. If you cooked in them and you stuck it in the pan, the bag would melt. And that would be gross. But if it will melt in a pan, what do you think it's going to do in a microwave? And last I checked, bag is not one of our food groups. So we're going to take, we're going to run some peas on the other side. Now, a lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, don't eat carrots because they're full of sugar. That's not true. Don't eat corn because there's very little nutritional value. That's not true. If it's cooked properly, there's actually nutrition in all vegetables, and the Saladmaster way actually does that. Now, another thing we're going to do is we're going to take, and we are going to actually hard boil an egg. Now, this is kind of cool. So when you take an egg and you spin it, and you stop it and let go, it'll continue to spin. And the reason it's doing that is because the yolk is spinning on the inside. All right? So that is no yolk. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to hard boil that egg, and we're going to do it right there without water. If you wanted to make egg salad sandwiches tomorrow, when we talk about combo cook, rinse your eggs off. You could put 10, 12 eggs on the top of that, cook it all at the same time, and then peel your eggs and make egg salad tomorrow. So it's kind of nice when you can do combo cooking, because a lot of times people say, I don't have time to cook. This actually takes and gets rid of some of those extra meals if you just think ahead and plan ahead just a little bit. Now the next thing I want to show you is very, 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 very important. First of all, you never put paper towels in your food when you're cooking. This is a test I'm going to show you. So we're going to take a paper towel and we're going to lay it right there. There's no reason to do this in normal cooking, but we want to show you something that's very, very valuable. We're going to take some regular salt. Now, salt is a mineral. It just so happens the nutritional value of your foods is in the mineral salts of those foods. So if we take unprotected salt and we go like this and we dump it right on top, if you were to do this in a traditional pan, that salt's going to melt, that salt's going to get all over, and it's going to make everything taste absolutely disgusting because it's way too much salt. But that's not what we're showing you. What I'm going to show you is this salt will still be sitting right here, right on top of the vegetables that we cooked without getting into the food. So we're going to take and we're going to carefully pick that up. Oh, forgot one thing. Remember when we told you not to cook with water? You technically don't have to do this part, because if you rinse your food right before you cook it, there's enough water that's going to cling to it to cook. But if there's any doubt when I'm cooking vegetables and when I'm cooking fruits, I'm going to give it a couple of tablespoons of water just so that I know I got enough moisture in there. Most of the time there's enough, but if in doubt, a couple of tablespoons, no more, is going to keep you from burning or scorching your food. So we're going to cover that up. We're going to carefully pick it up, put it over here on the burner, and as before, we did medium, click, low. We're going to take that and we're going to turn it to medium.